So there are many nations that have stayed at peace for about 100, 150 turns now, and they're really building up these huge forces. That is, I think, going to be a big factor when progressing forward. And actually, when it comes to military strength, India is still at number 1. We have the Celts at number 2, Arabia at 3, Korea at 4, and 5 going to Persia. So this is very different. Besides India, this screen is looking extremely different. There's really no one that is super far ahead. I guess it goes from 90,000 to 77,000 between 9th and 10th place, and then you're talking about some pretty weak nations when you go down to the bottom. Ethiopia, the Mongolians, Japan, Poland, Venice. So these people over 90,000 can kind of do whatever they want with some of those bottom tier nations, but we'll see if they're ready to press forward against that and try something here. So far, I mean, you're going to need some pretty big advantages. That's the thing, though. In a map like this, this game is going to go to whoever starts off fast, because after we're seeing it with the Celts now. Finally, they weren't doing anything with their cities for a while. For a while, they've had access to 6 cities, but they weren't doing much with it. Now, finally, with some time going by, they're really rebuilding. And we're seeing that as they've gotten close to the second place. They've gotten the second place spot in terms of military manpower. Now, and the Celts are in a good spot because they can go at war with anybody. They go to war with anybody. They go to Songhai, Sweden, the Huns. I mean, those are some big ones that would be easy. They could go after the Shoshone, which is what I thought they would do a long time ago, and but they kind of haven't. Now, remember, there's a lot of military units here. But if it's for them attacking, we've seen that land units. There's a lot of land units here, not as much naval units. But when it comes to land units, we've seen that America showed us that you can be really successful and still keep a hold of most of your army, depending on like what city you attack. If the city isn't very well defended, stuff like that. Washington did a really good job of having pretty much no naval backup and just doing it entirely with land units. So that is going to be a thing, and that's something that I should probably not discount as much as I have in the beginning of this campaign, at the beginning of the series, because it's a big deal. These land units that technically India controls at the number 1 spot could be used to attack a very weak Greece in Sparta, who cannot be reinforced by Athens, which I don't even know where Athens is at the moment. So yeah, the Carthaginian army. Who are they going to attack? Is that Japan? I see that Polynesia had a fleet building next to Kyoto. So maybe there's something. Well, yeah, that would make sense. I mean, look at Japan with only 1 crossbowman. That's got to be it. Oh, but Carthage is trading with Kyoto, so that might not make a lot of sense. Turtle ships have been founded by Korea. Let's hope that they do something with those. There's all this shallow water here, so they don't even need to worry about deep sea. Germany and Assyria finally piecing out. I'm sure Germany probably lost a few of their ships in the process. They did lose a handful, I'm thinking. There's also a lot of nations that aren't taking back their fleets. So, for instance, England with this fleet here. We have Polynesia with this fleet here. Could we be seeing that as like a reoccurring theme? We've noticed that the AI could, and that might be a bug. It could be a bug or it could be a strategy sort of thing, but the AI has been known to do that. Well, they'll take a fleet to some random place and then they'll just keep it there. It's really weird. Okay, so the Ottomans have peaced out with both Brazil and Sweden. We only have, I think, 1 major war going on. Wow, look at all these Ethiopian missionaries. Seriously about to spread Eastern Orthodox to Morocco. So Ethiopia is completely undefended right now. Completely undefended. The thing is, though, Washington is not willing to send anything up north and to support the Polynesians. And this is the only war that I think is still going on, is Polynesia and America versus Ethiopia. And they've done a good job. I mean, Ethiopia has nothing. I think they have got 1 city down here, but even they've got no units. I'm pretty sure we saw that they were down to like 12,000. They must be down to just like 1 ship randomly stuck somewhere. And I have no idea why the world has not decided to gang up on Ethiopia. This is the perfect situation. There might be something that we're missing here. Maybe this time period, there's something deeper going on, possibly. Who knows? But with the Ethiopians only at 12,000 manpower, military manpower. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Kind of shocking. Look at all these ships surrounding Porto. What's going on here? I do think that some of the reasoning for the lack of war has been because of the coalition against Russia. Normally, when you see a coalition like that, you don't see it against a nation that remained in so much power. Russia stayed in a lot of power. They're still at war with a lot of nations, I'm thinking. But the AI is not good at that. They understand how many numbers you have in terms of your military. So if someone like Songhai declared war on Russia, they're both saying the same right now. So for years, no one was willing to peace out. Normally with a coalition, that does not happen. And that, I think, was the reason why that happened. Why there was a lack of wars between some nations, and that is bad because for the nations that did go to war, they might be a little bit weaker. All the nations that we saw, all the empires that we saw at the top of that list, at the top of military manpower, were nations that haven't been to war in the last 100 turns, like the Indians, like the Celts. I can't remember anyone besides that, but those are nations that have been peaceful, and they've been building. Elizabeth has done a pretty good job at going to war and then rebuilding, and then going to war and rebuilding. She might be considering another war here soon. World religion, Hinduism, as well as, that's right, I try to remove the city-state embargo. We should see England with the Forbidden Palace with 3 good, so I don't have to vote anymore. And by the way, it's about time that we check in on our religion. 1640 AD, nearing turn 250. Let's go ahead and check what's going on here. Religion overview. So right now, what's dominating? It actually looks like Catholicism from the Danish Empire, and we saw that. So it has continued to dominate, even though it's under the control of England at the moment. So it must have been just kind of the domino effect where, the dominoes had already started to fall into place, and it was kind of too late to go by then. By the time Copenhagen fell, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. How's Eastern Orthodox doing? Not that good. Even though they're, creating all this faith and sending out all these missionaries, only controlling 14 cities following Eastern Orthodox. Catholicism is dominated. And part of the reason is just the density in the region. A lot of cities, so it's easy to get to a lot of cities. Ethiopia, on the other hand, kind of at the corner here. Ooh. Again, against France. And France really hasn't rebuilt as much as probably they should have. Oh! Where did that come from? Oh, wait a second. That was France declaring war on Germany. And then England's like, oh yeah, I want in on that too. I thought that was at first I thought that was an offensive war by Bismarck. That is what I've been waiting for a very long time. So how does England approach this? It looks like she's going to attack Hamburg first. It does look like that. Attacking Hamburg first. They already have land units because this is like one of the first wars we've seen where it's going to start off with a shared island. With Hamburg here at the south, York here on the east. There's already a trebuchet, a composite bowman, and a long swordsman on the island. They've already destroyed a German unit. This pikeman might be retreating, I'm not sure. You're going to also get the support from the French musketeers, who can, from this island, possibly make an embark move. I mean, they're going to get destroyed at the same time, but they could help out England, destroy a few units. We'll have to see how England decides to approach this situation. England has been the star of this show, though. Really, has it not? I mean, the series has been just focused on England. England's the only one that's been kind of willing to go to war as well as build more Navy units and then go to war again. Oh, Hamburg's done, I'm thinking. If they don't make a massive mistake. Now, they've got a caravel. They've got a melee unit. They might need another melee unit, though. They've got one back on the island where London is located, but they're going to need another one because more than likely this long swordsman and the caravel will probably fall. Unless the AI is dumb and the Hamburg decides to bombard a range unit or something, which is entirely possible. Definitely possible. What's going on here? Oh, okay. England, you might have been bugged out with this fleet. That sucks because you probably could have really used more range boats. So what does Germany do in this situation? Bam, Hamburg already down to yellow. Its health is in yellow so far. You've got 3 ranged attacks, as well as the composite bowman, who, wait a second, that's on a hill, right? It's on grassland, so it actually cannot attack across the forest. Cannot shoot over the forest. We knew from the very beginning when the location and when the cities got to, were in place. I knew that England and Germany were not going to be too friendly towards each other in this campaign, and that is certainly happening. Boom! They've gotten a fresh longbowman in. It looks like they didn't take as many shots as they should have, but nonetheless, Hamburg is done. Now we'll have to see exactly how they go about moving towards Berlin. Now, Berlin's still powerful. Germany is still powerful. I wonder why they even got France to help. And why is France still alive? Like, why is Spain and Rome not doing anything? I don't understand that. I have no idea. You guys are just to the south. I know that it'd be easier to attack Paris from the north. And I'm surprised that actually England hasn't taken it over either. But I guess England felt like, I'd rather take out the biggest threat to my empire, which is Germany, than take out, a very weak France, I'm thinking. But still, if Germany continues to send units over towards France, then that would be, Spain looks like there might be maybe mobilizing soon. Hamburg is done next turn. As long as that, actually, that long swordsman might get destroyed, so it might take another 2 turns, possibly. Approaching turn 250. Lots of MPs being built by the Zulu, but they're not utilizing them, and they can't if they're not embarked. Now, they could probably attack on Tonga, who has a lot of tiles to land on. Hinduism was not passed. And, okay, good. I'm not having to vote anymore. Carthage, playing against Alexander from... Now Russia joining in against Germany. I think these are the only 2 German cities in the map. And, Russia might actually be able to steal away Berlin before Elizabeth gets there. They've got a lot of land units. And there's a lot of tiles to the south of Berlin to land on. Yep, they're going to have to wait one more turn because Hamburg was smart and they destroyed the right unit. So these range boats are not even being used. So Elizabeth really does have a massive, massive fleet. She's continued to rebuild these guys. And she's preparing for the siege of Berlin. As long as the English AI doesn't peace out, which is entirely possible. We've seen that happen. We've seen her peace out with Paris. What is going on here? So we'll watch as this gets destroyed. We'll also see exactly what happens with Germany. Germany seems like they're staying on their island. Somewhat staying on their island. So boom, there goes that. We have Sweden versus Assyria. But Sweden is like far away, so that doesn't mean anything. And I'm thinking the fleet's going to start to double back around. Again, are we really going to do another coalition against Assyria? Have we not learned? You can't take Ooh, what are these Korean turtle ships doing? What is going on? Now, that could be still from the massive Russian coalition that took place a long time ago. That could have taken place. Okay, so we have Greece declaring war on Japan. I think we'll see more than just that. Syria peacing out with Carthage. We've got to see more than just that, right? Because Japan has no... Yep, that's what I thought. We'll see a lot more because Japan has no units. They're very, very weak. Still waiting for more, though. I figured I'd see a little bit more. Greece and Austria, I don't think will do that much damage. Is Russia actually going to send over units now? That's the question. They might have declared the war, but they might not actually do anything about it. And is it because... Oh, yes. Oh, these turtle ships are going after Russia. That is messing up the AI so much. That has messed up the AI so much. This stupid coalition against a power that still is powerful. Just peace out. Everyone peace out with Russia. I don't understand. Move on. Do something else with your life, please. Do not waste... Korea's going to waste their turtle ships on going after Russia, as well as this means Russia will probably be less likely to siege out Berlin. But you never know. I mean, I don't even know if the English AI wants Berlin. They might have just wanted Hamburg, which is not bad. But slowly, England is approaching that Celtic number of six cities. That is, Polynesia's peaced out with Ethiopia. I don't think America's willing to give a peace deal just yet. I'm thinking America's only going to peace out for a city, which would give them an additional city, which would bring them to 5 if they were to do that sort of thing. That's why I like Emperor difficulty, because the AI is willing to peace out for cities. Anything higher than Emperor, and you don't see it happen. You don't see it happen. Okay, so England is willing to engage Berlin, and there's only 3 crossbowmen left inside of Germany. That is it. So the acquisition of Berlin would bring the Celts and England tied for 6 cities. And there it goes. Russia is, they don't care. They don't care if these turtle ships are attacking Moscow. They're going to continue. They're going to send over units. Now, these are ranged, so they're not going to be able to embark and attack. They've got to land. And without destroying these crossbowmen, there's going to be less. It's going to be less likely that Russia will find a spot to land. But the range boats are making their way. Now, these boats move very slowly, so that's something to keep in mind. Zulu, do something, man. We've got so many MPs. You're supposed to be doing something right now. People like to smile. That doesn't really matter. Turn 250. We have Russia and France piecing out, since they're kind of working together now against Germany. Please don't, Korea. Please go back home. France has been doing a pretty good job of building wonders, and Paris is really open to an attack. Oh, there's going to be a warrior that can attack Berlin. This guy instant healed, so that makes it a little bit tougher, but Russia should make some landings here. Crossbowman, I'm thinking this pikeman and this crossbowman, which would help. Now, England's got to actually try here, because they'll take over Berlin. Someone will. I don't know if it's going to be Russia or England, but it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a race, and this is interesting. This is kind of an interesting sort of scenario. We see the English and their allies rushing after Berlin from the west, and then the Russians from the east as fast as they can. Who's going to take over, who's going to take the city over first? That is what I'm noticing. Boom. So we've got 2 pikemans here landing. They should land a few more crossbowmen if they can. Oh my gosh. How have you not destroyed that unit? That's just frustrating to me. I don't know why that's so frustrating to me. Do you have terrible... Maybe he doesn't have any land unit promotion? Does he not get any bonuses from attacking land units or what? And England, you got to try harder, because if... I don't think Russia can do it by themselves. Korea, go home. Korea, go home. Stop distracting Russia. Yes, they're going home. Okay. I want to see what's going to happen here. Oh, man. Oh, there we go. So we have 5 Russian units. And you know what? I don't see any English naval units. Any English melee naval units. So that right there says to me that this is going to go to Russia. And Russia could use it. With only 2 cities, they could really use this. But that would have been obviously pretty powerful, pretty big, pretty massive success if the English AI were to take it over themselves. Nope, Korea's not gone home. Never mind. They've decided to stay around. And so it begins. So there is a musketman. It's at half health, but there is a musketman. But that's the closest melee units near the siege that England has. These pikemen are pretty low in health too. Is Spain? Oh, that's right. Spain is still at war. Oh my gosh. Yeah, literally everyone is still at war with Russia. And that has been the bane of this campaign. Because, yes, that right there is what I'm blaming everything on. Okay, so we might possibly see Russia destroy Berlin. It could happen. They're not getting any support from England, but it's going to be interesting. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.